I'm Alison. I'm a grade 1-2 teacher at a school in Launceston. It's school holiday time at the moment, but here I am at school, like most teachers probably, who've come in during the holidays to prepare their classroom and prepare resources for the beginning of the school year. If you came in tomorrow, when the students are back here, these are the kinds of things you'd see. You would see 2 students who are super excited about being here and want to tell me every single thing that they've done in the last 2.5 weeks and just want to share stuff and show me their pictures and talk to me and want lots of attention. And you'd probably say to me, oh, do they have ADHD? And I'd say, I don't know, because they don't have a diagnosis yet. And then you would see over here, if it's in English time, I'd have 4 kids over here working together. Those students are tracking about 2 years behind where I'd like them to be at the moment. And you could say to me, oh, do those students have some kind of learning difficulty? And I'd say, well, I know that one of them has a diagnosis, the other 3 still don't have a diagnosis yet. If you stayed for maths time, you would see that I have some students here who will tell you quite confidently that they're maths geniuses. They're super good at maths. While I'm teaching the rest of the class, I'm providing other challenges for them. And you might say to me, oh, are they gifted and talented? And again, I'd say, I don't know, because they don't have a diagnosis. The issue is that in Tasmania, we have one psych for 1,100 students. The Australian national standard is 1 for 500. Of 200 schools in Tasmania, we have the equivalent of 60 FTE psychs. So the waiting list for a diagnosis is a year, up to a year, possibly past a year. Psychs are doing diagnoses, they're not able to do therapeutic work with my kids. I've just been talking about the academic situation in my class, but then consider on top of that the kids who are trauma affected. I've got a significant number of kids in my class who are trauma affected. Consider the family who are effectively homeless, who are couch surfing at the moment. Consider the kids who are suffering from anxiety. Consider the kids whose attendance is really poor because they have difficulty getting to the school, their families have difficulties getting them to the school. We have all of these needs in my class. Of my class of 24 children, I have 6 who I would like to have a diagnosis for and to have some support for. Without a diagnosis, there's no funding. Schools are given a school resource package. At the moment in Tasmania, schools are only funded up to 91% of the school resource package. If we had that extra 10%, we could have more people here supporting the students. We could provide more psych, social worker, speech. We could provide more teacher assistants. Our teacher assistants do a fantastic work with our kids. We could have more teacher assistants. We could have more education support specialists, providing the support that those kids need, whether or not they've got a diagnosis. All kids need support at some point. That would be the big thing that I would like to see if we had that other 10%. The other things that it would do is it would mean that teachers aren't having to pay for resources themselves. Last year I spent $2,500 on my kids, on my class, on my job teaching for that 1 year. And I'm not alone. That story would be similar to across other schools. School associations and parents and friends groups are fundraising to provide books, to provide resources, to provide equipment, to provide learning experiences. And we're relying on the kindness and the generosity of parents in our communities to do that. And they do a fantastic job. But imagine if that funding was provided directly from the government, what a difference that would make to all of us. Our kids are very happy to come to school, and I think our parents are really happy with the service that we provide, but they don't recognise that teachers are working above and beyond. Teachers are still recovering from COVID last year and the trauma and the effect of that on everybody, but on teachers particularly who are working up until midnight to prepare all the resources. At the moment, teachers are still working from 8 o'clock in the morning, sometimes till 8 o'clock at night. They're still going home and they're working. They're still preparing resources outside of school hours. They're still working through the holidays. Teachers are stressed and they're going to be burning out. all schools need to be funded to the full 100%. We can't keep relying on the goodwill of parents and teachers and support staff and families to be propping up the school system. And it's not just about teachers' workload, it's about our kids. Our kids deserve all the support that they need to grow up to be the best people they can be.